Hey, what's up and welcome to a new devlog about my terrain plugin for Godot called TerraBrush. There has been a lot of improvements since the last video, so let's get into it. So in the previous devlog, I've shown that I've introduced a new concept which is called the clip map. This helps a lot to improve the performance of the terrain by reducing the number of vertices, but that was not enough. Let's create the terrain to see what's going on. So let's start pretty small with a 256 terrain here. Everything is pretty smooth. You can sculpt the terrain and everything, and that's perfect. We can even double the size of the terrain and everything remains perfect. Let's go even further with a 1024. Everything is still perfect. The problem is when we go even further than that. For example, here a 2000 terrain size, things start to get messy. Not that it doesn't work, but the tool starts to get laggy. When you sculpt, for example, the brush will start to lag, so the tool is not fun to use with the big terrain. The thing is, I never needed to have big maps, so in my case that wasn't an issue, but I understand that for people it might be. Let's have a look at why it's doing this. We have here a 4000 size terrain. We can see here with the image on the right that while I sculpt the terrain, I in fact just write pixels on an image, and Godot needs to save this image every time I sculpt, which takes a long time because this is a huge image. Things get even worse when we start to paint texture because we have the same size of image, but we are painting twice because we have two splat maps. So what can we do for it? Well, one solution is to split our terrain into smaller chunks. For example, here, let's say we have our terrain again, but we subdivide it with smaller square like this, and we're gonna call these squares zones. Okay, that sounds really easy to do, but trust me, that wasn't at all. Anyways, this is what we have now. So the terrain size has been replaced with zone size. The zone size will be the size of each zone. For example, here we have a 256 by 256. Cool. What now? Well, we can create the terrain, and just like this we have the same thing as before. What is the difference then? Because we can still paint, we can still use the shortcuts, we can still do whatever we were doing before. So what has changed? Well, this has changed. We have a auto add zones here feature that you can toggle using the K key. You can also change this keybind by using the TerraBrush keybinds screen. Well, this is cool, but let's have a look at what it does. So let's say I enable the auto zone. What if I overflow the terrain? Well, a new zone will be added and you're gonna be able to start to paint on this new zone as well. Just like that, the terrain size has increased without costing us too much performance. And you can even just double the size of the terrain just like that. This is pretty easy. Okay, right now we only have like a 512 terrain here, but the more you go on the edges of the terrain, the more zone you will add, and of course at some point you could create something pretty big, something like probably this. You can still go on and add new zones to the terrain, and that should follow, I guess. I hope. And even with a big map like this, everything is still pretty smooth while you sculpt. You don't have the lag that you had before. Even while using the textures, that's not lagging anymore. The reason for it is pretty simple. We are not painting on big images anymore. We are painting on small images that are all linked together. All of this is then sent into a shader that calculates which zone we need to display at which location, and then the magic occurs here. Okay, I think this is pretty fun, but what if you still want to paint on the edge of the map without adding new zones? Well, you can just uncheck the box and start to paint wherever you want, and then no zones will be added on the map anymore. Obviously, all the rest is still working as before. For example, here, I can still paint my foliage, and the foliage will still pick up the color of the ground, just like it did before. Awesome. Alright, keep in mind that all of this is still in alpha stage, but I'm really happy about how it turned out. It's really fun to just mess around and build some maps just like this. For example, to build a racing game where you build your terrain here, you place assets, you put everything you want, and at the end you just place a car and you just drive around in your beautiful map. And that for me is really exciting. Another thing that is interesting with the zone feature is that you can have zones that are not connected together. For example, you could create a zone manually and set the position manually in such a way that it skips a zone. So for example here it will create a zone that is not connected. So in my opinion this could be really useful to create something like a pirate game where you're gonna have some islands disconnected from each other and you're gonna have a big ocean in the middle, and you can just go from islands to islands, and on each island you will have some unique foliage and unique trees and everything. Anyways, I think that here the possibilities are endless. You can build really what you want, but at least it's gonna be way more performant than before. The last thing I did was to make sure that the map that has been created before the zones are also working. So I created a deprecated section that holds the previous properties, and just like that, my demo scene is still working. Alright, that's all I had to show for this vlog. I hope you enjoyed it, and we're gonna see each other on the next one.